Strap on your VR headset because we're about to transport you into the captivating world of Ghosts of Tabor. Welcome to Tabor Radio. Hey, welcome to this episode of Tabor Radio. We're so excited for this one. You know, we've been having a lot of fun.
When are we not?
Yeah, I know. Tabor is always, Ghosts of Tabor is an easy game to talk about on any day.
I see like a 1 or 2 patch update or something. I get excited. So talking to people who are in the thick of it is even 10 times more exciting.
Yeah, it's a next level treat. I could talk to you for an hour about it off air. I could probably talk to my dog about it for an hour. I could talk about the wall to it. Talk about it to the wall for an hour. It's an easy game to talk about. And like you said, anytime we get a chance to talk to somebody from the team, that's huge.
Next level.
So for episode 3, today we're joined with SoulBC, you know, a member of the team. And he's the media assistant, but he also leads some creator program in the Discord, and he's just a name you'll see around a bunch. So I think he'll be able to tell you all a lot more about what he does better than I can. So Soul, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are in case they're not in the Discord a bunch, and also about what you do for Combat Waffle Studios and Ghosts of Tabor?
Of course. My name is SoulBC, whichever one you want to put me under. I am technically the media assistant manager, although we don't really go by titles in Combat Waffle. We just, as long as we do the work, we do the work. Yeah, I am below Proper. Basically, me and Proper are always working together. Actually, all the media team works together. I am the head of the creator program, along with Crow helping me, the community manager. He helps me out as well with the creator program, but I started it. Let's see, what else do I do? I used to do the TikTok for Tabor all the time. When I first got hired on, it was TikTok. It's primarily TikTok. So I'm old TikTok guy.
So you knew the TikTok algorithm pretty well then.
More or less, yes. I used to do stuff beforehand, before Combat Waffle Studios for TikTok. Not just making content, but looking at it from analytically, stuff like that, yeah.
Well, I always think it's important to understand how we got here today. You know, so somebody's background in gaming and VR is essential to understand their journey, you know, who they are today. So on that, it sounds like you were very involved in VR content creation.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to Ghosts of Tabor.
Oh, yeah.
So what was your introduction to VR, getting involved in content creation? And then down the line, we'll get a little bit more into how did that led to Combat Waffle Studios. But where did it start for you with VR?
I bought my first headset in 2017. It was the HTC Vive Pro. Before 2.0s were a thing, the 2.0 controllers and the base stations, before all that was a thing. I got that after saving up a lot of money from my job at the time. And the first game I played was either Onward or Blade and Sorcery. I played it a lot then, and I still play it now, obviously. But that was my first time in VR in 2017 with the HTC Vive Pro in my parents' house.
And Blade of Sorcery remains therapeutic any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Just going there.
Oh, yeah.
Choke slam. Somebody hit them with the old ridiculous ground and pound is always my go-to.
What I say, brought out the best of the worst of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You chop quick. People up, slap them around.
Had them on display like artwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had sent me some funny pictures very quickly into your play session.
Yeah.
It started with, I don't really understand the purpose of this game, to I saw some very creative sides of you quickly. So that's how you discovered VR and started playing it. So how did that lead into content creation? At what point were you like, all right, let's start to dabble into this side of things?
So I've already dealt with content creation a little bit during that time frame, but I didn't do VR. I did flat screen stuff for a long time. I actually have a history of going to do a lot of YouTube stuff. However, it was young, dumb me, and I didn't really, succeed. And I found a niche that I really loved doing, which is VR. And that took place around that time, about 2019, 2018, something around there. I think one of the first few things I played was Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. And then after that, it just went on to just do more VR stuff. And it got me to where I am today.
So were you more of, you would reference some TikTok and stuff like that, but were you more of a YouTube content creator, more short form with, shorts and TikTok videos? What was your, I guess, medium for content creation?
I love the idea of full form content, basically about 8 minutes or more. I've always watched creators be funny. I love the funny moment stuff. I like to make people laugh myself. I watched just for some examples of what I've based my channel around is Blarg My Schnoople, Smitty, and McNasty. That's just 3 of many, but I've watched them a lot growing up, and growing up in general as a whole. I watched them all. I have dark humor, scuffed humor. It's developed over the years, and it's still there.
That's awesome. And then how did this lead into Combat Waffle Studios and Ghosts of Tabor? Going
That's
from
the $1 million question.
Yeah, going from VR content creation.
Just pull that like a Band-Aid.
So that is a trip in itself. At first, so I was working for a place here at my hometown well before I got any job offers or even searched for VR jobs at all. And I made a tweet a while back saying I need a VR job or something like that. And then the first place to hit me up was Liv. I used to work for Liv as their TikTok guy. And then some things went the wrong way, unfortunately. I still love the people there at Liv, but that led me to where I am today. So basically, after Liv ended, my buddy Z-Storm helped me out, and he helped me reach out to a few people within the VR space to get a new job, because at that time, I was also in a very rough spot in life. Not because of me, but life as a whole. I would say it here, but it's just a little too personal. It's more revolved my fiance, but we're good now, I guess. I guess she wouldn't mind, I don't think, but it was cancer, basically.
Okay.
But after that, I was in that rough moment in life, and I was desperate looking for a job because I lost my job at Liv, and I immediately got a new job, not that long after, because Z-Storm reached out to Scott, and I am now a part of the team.
Wow. It's fun.
It's a hell of a road, man.
That's an amazing road.
I'm sure it was probably the lowest of low, with everything going on and the Liv opportunity falling through. But if that didn't fall through, you also wouldn't be with Combat Waffle Studios. So
yeah,
it's funny the way everything goes. And that's awesome that I was able to lead right into that. And how long ago was that you joined the team?
February. Early February is when I joined Combat Waffle Studios.
Wow.
Before the launch of Tabor, the early access launch.
It's amazing how much the game has grown in 6 months.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we talk about it, and I think one of the reasons I constantly bring it up that it's a game in development. It's a game in development because it's easy to forget that it's not, and it's like
because it's so much fun.
Well, that and just the enormity of the whole project. It's not. I mean, come on, man. So it's like I need to just remind myself now and then that even though everything and all the momentum is so forward, it's still a game in development. It's only getting better. Every single update brings cooler shit. The player base is just undeniably massive. Go into Discord and look at how many. I don't know what today's current users are, but last time when we talked to Scott, it had jumped 1,000 from the time that I had last looked at it till we talked to him. I think it was 50 something.
It's 58.
58. Yeah, I think it was 52 or 53.
Crazy.
Holy crap.
And
when I started, I think it was 15,000.
Jesus. No, it's rare and it's like everyone that's working on this is one of those rare life opportunities where yes, people can work on games and yes, people can do other things in the industry, but it's like the momentum with this, the people behind it, the fan base for it, and it's not out on the official store yet as far as the quest is. So it's got me quite blown away week after week.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I had said before right after the last wipe, with the new bunker, I said I think this is going to bring the game to a whole new level of popularity, and I think that's going to happen every major update or wipe leading into full release. It's like the game's just going to continue to hit newer and newer levels.
Hasn't slowed down. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Is it's like if it were a bar, it's just going up, 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 up.
And for somebody like you that was part of the team before release, you had joined a month before. Did you anticipate that it was going to blow up the way it did? It's hard to imagine anybody could, but what was it like, that energy that month before?
So,
could you even imagine this?
Yeah, I actually did. I actually envisioned it being very successful, which it's even succeeding more than what I thought originally. But I did think it was going to be very big in VR, specifically because, well, I rant about this a lot, but I'm going to rant about it again a little bit here. So not many VR studios create progression in their games, or like leveling up, like all that stuff, leveling up, getting skins, or whatever. No one really does that in VR right now, which you would think, looking at our predecessors for flat screen games, it would be like common sense, but it's just not a thing. And it's kind of sad to see, because there's so many great games right now in VR that just fall because they don't have that progression. And this has that. And I thought about it immediately, like, this is going to be great because there's something to grind for. And and it wipes all the time, so you got to grind it again.
Which I actually think that when right before the wipe, when the traders are unlocked, you have infinite money, and you're able to just get whatever.
Barrett country.
It actually shows that, so much of the game that's fun is that grind. When you don't have that grind, it's silly for a day or two with it, but I don't think those pre-wipe events are as fun as the core game itself when you're on the hunt, when shit's scarce, when everything's a grind.
When times are tough.
That's me personally. Don't get me wrong. It's still a nice treat that I think is a great pre-wipe tradition that should happen, but it's definitely, if that was the whole game, it wouldn't be as special and as fun as it is.
When everything gets unlocked, I'm always thinking like how much I'm going to love it. And then I realize how many people don't have the best shit, because it's pretty much what I even called it. I go, I bet you the first server we go in, it's going to be like 12 Barretts going off all at once through the hole.
And that's what you heard.
And no shit. I ran like 20 feet down the beach and pink, done. So I appreciate the wipe, but I love the, like you said, the main core dynamic of the game. Even if it doesn't work out in my favor, I don't expect it to every time. It's not the norm where I don't even get upset about it. So screw it.
So for maps, are you more of a Silo or more of a Tabor Island person? For myself, no hate to Silo.
No, I'm Island boy.
I'm an Island boy. Yeah, I like Tabor Island.
Island boy without the fucked up hair.
What about you? What's your main go?
I don't really have a preference. I like all the maps that I've played. They're all very fun, and they all have their own specific things, right? And I go in as a content creator every time I play. Like, I think of it like, oh, content. Okay. Somebody's here. Content. I don't really think of it as a favorite map thing. I think of it as like, what opportunities can I do here? And that changes all the time because there's just different interactions all the time. So, and I enjoy those interactions. So to say there's a favorite map that I have, I don't think I really have one at all. But if I absolutely had to choose,
gun to the head.
Gun to the head.
I'm going to take your loot. I'm going to take your loot if you don't answer. It's hard, right?
It would probably be Silo, I think.
And do you usually go in solo or with a couple other people?
It depends. So again, content mood, right? Sometimes I'll do by myself. Like if I'm streaming, I'll go by myself. Or if somebody hits me up before the stream, I'll join them. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as I vibe with them very well. I'll play with them. Sometimes I play with viewers as well, so it's kind of nice.
I'm already scheming.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I vibe with that person, then I can play with them. Or if I want to do solos a few times, I'll do solos.
Yeah, solo is such a different dynamic. It's way more heart inducing, like heart pounding, like oh my god,
adrenaline,
real up close and personal.
Nobody watch your back. Nothing beats though the two new players playing it. I'm sure it happened to us. I'm sure it happens to everybody when they're new in the game. You accidentally kill your buddy because you're not good at seeing the blue lights. We had a couple of showdowns, a couple of moments like, is that you? Don't move. Are you walking to your left?
Yeah.
You're walking like we're both pointing at each other. It's such a showdown.
Or our third who we play with comes running in, clearly saying it's me, don't shoot, and you popped him twice.
No. That was different. He shot. We heard a bullet in the background, and then he runs in, and I go, "Was that you? Is that you?" And he thought I was referring to the gun, so he goes, "No, pop." So I'm shooting him. He goes, "No, it wasn't me." And it's too late,
I get those two, man. Me and Short Stack and Z, we actually do that a lot. Actually, me and Short Stack do a lot. Short Stack is usually the one who kills me all the time. I have several clips of this man. We are together. We are together all the time. And I'm like, oh, I'm up here by the tower. I'm coming down. I'm like telling him my exact location all the time. And then he'll come up the stairs and kill me anyway. and I'll just tell chat to clip it, and I'll just send it to him. It happens all the time.
Everybody has PTSD in this game of hesitating on a player, thinking might be your buddy, and it's not.
I've done it.
And you die because of it. So then everybody gets such a shoot first mentality because it's like I'm sick of giving people the benefit of the doubt out here, and they're not giving me the same.
I just hate hearing a third screaming.
Yeah.
It's me.
And it's like, all right, we always at least give the benefit of the doubt. If I'll grab your loot, do my best to run to the extraction and give it to you at the start of the next round. I'll never steal your loot if I accidentally kill you.
I got a good question. Are you allow someone to surrender, just steal their shit and let them go, or are you
everybody must die?
Kill on sight.
Kill on sight. I agree.
Kill on sight.
I don't trust anybody.
I don't care who it is. Kill on sight.
There
are times where people wave their hands at me. I'm like, I don't care. You're
wrong guy. Well, because again, everybody's been betrayed like that too. You know, I'm not chancing it just because you sound a little friendly.
I'm 50-50. Because remember, there's been some time I really had to like reel you in because I was like, nah, dude, he's being so sincere.
Yeah, we let one guy live, and then he ended up killing himself. I was like, ooh, that was a hot one. I don't know what to make of that right now. That was a little weird, but it was quite interesting. He was like, please kill me, just take my stuff. We were like, no,
that's all right, little guy.
And then like 2 minutes later,
it's all right, little buddy.
He goes, you guys can just have my stuff. And we hear, bam. I'm like, he just shot himself. Oh my God. So the game's got endless content creation, 100%. Moments and potential.
It's never going to stop.
Just because of endless silly moments like that, whether it's because it's because of the anxiety of being by yourself, or funny moments with your buddies and killing people. And the game's got endless content ability. And do you play on Quest standalone, on like an index? What do you play on?
I play on my Valve Index all the time, exclusively, until my big screen beyond gets here.
You're getting a big screen?
Yeah, I actually just did the email 3D scan face thing the other day, so I'm so excited.
I want to know how that is.
Yeah, I'm a Quest 2 standalone guy, but no headset is more intriguing to me for PC VR than a big screen beyond. It just the concept of it being so lighter than my iPhone.
I gotta know when people try it. What's it really like?
I know it's got a wire.
Seems too good to be true.
I know you need the trackers, but just conceptually, the fact that they've gotten that aspect of technology to be able to get it that light. In my opinion, the other stuff will improve with future models and stuff like that. Maybe one day there won't be a wire. Maybe one day you don't need trackers, but conceptually, they've gotten it down to that headset is stupid slim.
Not even funny.
It was so awesome. I'm ready for it. I'm also ready for the Nofio. I got an Nofio coming in too. So I'm hoping they big screen and beyond Nofio goes together and makes it work. I'm hoping. I'm praying, man.
The Nofio is the wireless adapter for the Index, right?
Yes.
So you're about to live the life between wireless Index, big screen beyond, even if that's just for media.
And Soul is not seen for months.
Yeah, where'd Soul go?
Go on YouTube. It's the only way you're gonna find it.
He's stuck in the big screen.
Immersed in VR too much.
That's awesome. And the player base is big. It seems both on Steam with PC VR and also on Quest. And I'm sure when it comes to PlayStation VR, I'm sure it's going to be huge there too. The game is it's a home run, no matter the platform.
We knew Ghosts was something special within the first 5 minutes of playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know shit. I mean, I did a tutorial. I thought I knew some shit. And I remember even telling you, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm doing something wrong. And then I think literally within 5 minutes, I'm like, there's something big to this that I'm seeing. Yeah. I like this direction.
The potential is too big to ignore.
And Scott was teasing us with bigger map.
Oh my God. Every time we talk with Scott, it's like
Matkem yes.
Yeah, you think the game's going to be big. You think that there's huge stuff for Combat Waffle Studios, and then you talk with Scott, and there's
10 fastballs thrown by you.
Yeah, new games, more maps, just the game. Oh my God, I can't wait to see. But as we're talking about, headsets that you use and going in solo and stuff, if we talk play style,
I know where you're going with this.
What type of player are you? Are you a hunt and kill? Are you going in for loot? Are you a camper? Do you like to just sit back and wait for people to make the wrong step? What's your
littering the ground with
a rat?
I've gone in the house, admittingly. I know it's dirty, but I've gone in the house and I've thrown a gun out the window. So a player might happen to, see it and be intrigued. And then maybe pop a grenade out that window too, but it's not my go-to play style either. I'm just saying I've done it. So for you, how do you like to play?
I think my ADHD takes a part in this. I'm more of a loot guy.
Yeah.
I loot around a lot. But there'll be times where I'm playing with short stack, whatever, and he's going to kill immediately. We're in silo. I'm like, you just missing all this loot, man. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill first, then loot, my guy. I'm like, oh well, all right. Well, what am I doing? So it just throws me in for a loop, and I follow him or whatever. We'll go killing all these people, and then go into loot everything else. And it just feels weird. I don't know. I like to loot before fighting. I don't know. It gets that adrenaline going more. I think when somebody comes out of nowhere, starts shooting you in the back, and you just have to turn around, drop your backpack, and just fire away.
Yeah,
I feel wicked primal. Believe it or not, when I swear to God, because I'll crouch down on the ground and I'm holding my backpack.
Yeah,
and
I'm Kiwi.
I feel like
audio attachments.
Yeah, I feel like a caveman must have been trying to steal food before something comes to fucking eat you. And
oh my God, with your back turned, you're scared.
Scared shitless if I'm solo. I shouldn't even be touching the loot, but I can't help myself.
The worst is you need to rearrange your backpack primal. A little bit, though.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's why I memorize where my stuff goes in my backpack. When I get my backpack, I always put everything in the same spot where I put everything. I always put syringes on the right side. I always put walkie-talkies on the very bottom. I always put mags on the left. And then I just, whatever's in the center, I try to arrange as best I can to where I can still have room for anything else.
That's smart. That way there's never any rearranging in the map. You always know you pick up ammo, it goes here. And I'm definitely a loot guy too. I think
not even fun. Dude, I'm such a loot guy. I will deliberately go in with nothing in my backpack. I need no medicine,
you want to fill
water,
it up.
No food. And it's I'll survive on the land. Thank you.
Yeah, I think my most fun, there's even times we'll play a lot, us two, and then our friend Caleb. And there's times we've been in the map. I know this is the wrong way to play a lot of times, but, You go into a raid, you've been in there 5 minutes, maybe you've killed some NPCs, whatnot, and we're all talking about sitting in there, getting kills, having a good raid, and then somebody will pick up a gun and you hear him go, "We gotta go. We gotta go." Yeah, it's
definitely.
Like I gotta get this to my base. We can load in another raid, but I need to keep this. I think that's why for me, when it's about to be wipe and there's the pre-wipe, traders unlocked, it's a lot of fun. But for me as a loot guy, now there's no point in looting. And that's to me so much fun. I love killing in the game, don't get me wrong. But it's definitely way more of a casino out there playing like that, I feel.
Have you ever done a no-buy wipe yet?
What's that?
Buying nothing from the store.
When everybody else has access to everything?
Yes. Have you ever tried it?
No, but
it
that actually
is
sounds
hard.
fun.
It's hard. I'm doing it right now, and I'm like gaining but losing at the same time. And I'm not going to the market to get stuff back. I'm just playing. I'm like, well, okay, I have to conserve my backpacks. I'm going in with nothing, and hopefully I can find something. It makes the experience like much more difficult but fun to me.
Well, admittingly, when we first started playing, the majority of my early runs were always like, just assumed I needed. It was. I didn't want to waste all the guns I had, so I would just go in with nothing because I realized I'm like, we can find a backpack.
I can find a handgun very easily.
I don't care if it's a shitty gun or not. All I got to do is take out an NPC, and now I got a gun. So I love, but doing that solo, the stress level is holy shit.
Yeah. It's exhilarating.
Yeah. I literally like, I've shaken before hiding in the weeds by the water because I knew I was about to get caught. It's like, naked runs that's pretty good. I wouldn't dare do it though
during the wipe event.
During the wipe, oh my god, dude! I was getting picked by sniper rifles left and right, and I had good shit.
Armored up.
I actually
ready
had
to
a
go.
Yeah, I was joining the club.
Just doing that for the entire wipe, though, like not buying anything, like at all, that really tests your skills. Like, okay, what can I get from here?
I think I'm 100% doing that the next wipe.
Yeah,
just because like I said, I actually enjoy the core better, so I can make the wipe more challenging and keep it fresh instead of just feeling like I need to own every gun. And
to be honest with you, if you kill a player, you're almost guaranteed to get something cool.
Fat guns.
Exactly.
Especially if you're playing the game that you won't buy it.
Dude, people put shit on the guns they don't even need. I've seen ridiculous things. They're like, what do you're not going to use that.
Yeah, during a wipe event, every gun of mine has a silencer. Doesn't need a silencer, but every gun of mine has a silencer. I'm a big grenade fan too. I think grenades are very underrated in this game.
In all games, and it's because of grenade placement, and that's what screws people up in most games. But they're critical in like old Counter-Strike days. Holy crap! 5 players with grenades, you can take out the whole.
You can attest to it. I've gotten some good grenade kills.
Yeah,
like 100%. Somebody's in a room trying to breach in there. There's no guarantee that you're going to live. You throw a couple grenades in there. Tough.
Yeah.
You get down the ricochet aspect of things.
Dude, I love when you've thrown grenades and we go busting into the room after and there's a dead person sitting there.
Yeah. There's no
like, good call.
It's like, I don't know if I got him, but I don't hear him moving anymore. They might be playing possum. All right, let's go. Yeah, there he is dead. No, I love a grenade kill. It's special. It's always in any game.
I'll take all the kills.
Yeah.
Any I can get.
I think in VR it just makes it more like, I don't know, more of a rush when you get a kill with a grenade. It's like
you got to throw it.
You have to actually throw it. Yeah, you have to actually use your hands, like everything else in the game. You have to actually aim.
Guided arrow assist.
Yeah.
I'll just get it perfectly in the right hand corner of the window.
Well, we love Pop 1, but Pop 1's starting to, I think, have some gameplay elements that have aged as better shooters come out, and one of those is the arrow grenade. That's how Pop 1 is for grenades.
For pretty much any projectile.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of Pop 1 personally.
They have the not automated reloading. You still do the reloading, but I don't know. I think that there's gameplay elements to it that were better
for the time.
Yeah,
they were also one of the only real players out there at the time.
That's the tough part.
So it's like, who's your competition?
But my understanding is their player base is still doing good, so that's the benefit. At least they're
all right.
They went free to play, so
it's good on them. Serious. Like I'd like to see more free to play games that succeed for VR.
It's tough. We're always like, there's a couple free to play games that we love. Pop One being one of them. Cards and Tankards, Gods of Gravity, and we're always fighting with them. Like, you guys should just charge for your game.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because it's some free to play games are really, really good, but I
don't understand the business model.
It works.
So my brain struggles mathematically with how someday am I gonna be able to not work so hard.
I think if you have the correct structure, right? For example, Pop One, that's a good example right now. It has a great structure right now with the Battle Royale. It's basically Fortnite VR, right? And they have the capability of making it free to play with the purchase of skins. Like skins will make it boom, and people like skins. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if Ghosts of Tabor had a skin and I had to buy it myself, I would probably buy the skin. So I mean, just how it is.
We were buying skins for Pop One when it was paid. But they reached a point where the price started to get really high.
They started getting really crazy with...
I'm with you, though. I don't mind buying skins to support the devs, but I also don't mind buying skins in a paid game,
For sure.
I think, Ghosts of Tabor, I think definitely deserves to be paid when, you look at the quality of it. Hell, we got Ghosts of Tabor, and then we got the Founding Father edition because you tell me that,
I fucked up, and I hate saying I did it. But I bought the second tier and then realized I
really want the Founding Father.
I ended up spending more money because they're not stackable per se. So I ended up spending more.
Happily, though.
I didn't complain about it. It's not like I sent an email. I haven't done a fucking idiot. And so gave you too much money.
The game's worth it, So,
dude, it's next level for early access, and it's doing nothing but crushing it. I mean,
well, let's get into that real quick. The game's the popularity of it is really unprecedented in VR for early access, for still being technically in early access and beta essentially. What about Ghosts of Tabor do you think makes it so special and has caused such an explosion of popularity?
As I said before, the progression, man. Like, progression is like a key factor for many games as a whole. Like, again, Call of Duty wouldn't be where it is if it didn't have the leveling system, the unlocking system, or the skins. It wouldn't be there, I don't think, at all. Like, people buy Call of Duty because those things happen, and obviously the brand too as well. But if they didn't have the skins and the level ups and it just stopped, it probably wouldn't be what it is. I really think the progression made Ghosts of Tabor what it is today.
I can't argue that.
No.
And you throw in the realism with the gun loading and each gun being specific and then each gun having its own, where you can train your ear to the point where you can be in a map and hear a gun and be like, know exactly what fucking gun that is.
And you start to know those maps like the back of your hand. You know exactly which building you want to go into. You could
transition those skills. Not saying run around and loot and kill people, but you could take a gun and you essentially know how to load it. If you've never loaded that gun in real life, but you've loaded it in the game, it reaches that level of...
Now you can...
And that's just the gun.
Dual palm mags.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That's the greatest feature I've ever seen.
Spoon
is amazing.
I never even knew I wanted it so bad. I know that sounds silly, but like as soon as the first time
you needed it until you tried.
The first time he explained that it was in the works, I was like, which there's a funny story with that too, but I was like, all right, that actually makes sense. There's been times that I have to take out the mag and then, it's kind of a hassle putting it down while I change out the other one. So that would be convenient. But the funny part is, I remember the first time we had talked to Scott, he had told us, that was in the works. We talked to him like 2 weeks later and it's done.
Yep.
It's ready to go. It's like the rate of updates and everything that Combat Waffle Studios has done with Ghosts of Tabor is incredible. For the game to be where it's at in a year.
Oh, the work ethic, dude. The people that, Soul included, it's like I would put them in the higher strength of work ethic.
You hear the passion
all the
for
devs.
it.
Yep. All the devs work super, super hard. They don't stop, basically. We're all workaholics. There have been times where it would be on Saturday. Everyone's off Saturday, but there'll still be times where you see like the lead 3D artist, Husky, doing stuff, or Proper's in there, or Scott's in there, everyone's still working at some point of the day. Even if they're not in the call, they're still working. Like there's times where I see updates and I'm like, okay, this person's not in the call, but there's still updates going on. I'm like, okay, there's art for this, new mechanics for this. Oh, I'm working on this today. They all work super hard, and it's amazing to see. But it's like also a worry. I'm like, come on, guys, don't hurt yourself. you got a life too, man.
No, I think the hustle, and we heard that from Scott firsthand. I mean, Tabor is life, isn't that what he says?
Yeah,
So,
I don't think anybody working on the game is working on it because they just we're looking for
because they're chained to the desk.
I think it's because you love Ghosts of Tabor. It's like you want to be a part of it.
Well, dude, the overall vision, right? Come on. It's not small. It's not done. It keeps moving and getting better and better. We know we get bigger maps coming, other games coming from the studio. I'll mention Grim.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a second. But one
baby.
Yeah, Grim's gonna be your game. But
Grim.
On Ghosts of Tabor, one last thing I gotta ask, and then I definitely want to get into some of the other stuff that Combat Waffle Studios has in the works too.
Mm-hmm.
For new players, or maybe not even new players that play a lot but aren't exactly having successful extractions, do you have any tips for players new to the game or players struggling in general?
Make no noise.
I've actually made a video on this a while back. Right after it was about right after the game released early access. It's like 20 tips, but I'll repeat this one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
That's why you kill on site.
Kill on site all the time. I mean, like, not all the time, but obviously, like, if you really don't want to trust anybody at all, then just kill them. But I guess if I could have to provide another one, I think another one that I'd have to say is a lot of people, and I don't know why, a lot of people leave behind the nerds. When they walk around the silos or Tabor, they leave the nerds behind. Yeah, maybe you don't have a backpack, but at least hide it. Throw it away, something. Somewhere where you know where it's at. Because if someone that's not you gets a hold of that nerd, they'll have the upper advantage. They'll have an extra med pin in their backpacks. So take it out, move it away, something, because it's just going to detriment you in the future if you don't take it with you. And I see that happen a lot. Like I play Silo, when I'm playing by myself, when I play Silo, I see it a lot happening. Whether it's in the hangars, by the hangar I mean like the train depot area, or the Joker room, or in the garage by the elevator. Some people just don't take them. They just go straight to it, to the wherever they're going to, and just leave it. And then that is their end. It's their death. They don't take it. I don't understand. I don't just take it. Take it or hide it. Do whatever. Throw it on the truck. Throw it in the trash can somewhere.
No, that's great advice. I love taking them.
Ironically, a lot of times if I find a backpack and I know it's already been looted, guess what's still in there though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people, you're absolutely correct.
Well, I take those all the time. That's actually
they don't take much room at all.
Oh my God, no! My essential.
Chances are you need one.
If I'm going in for a looting round, I go in with an empty backpack. But if I want to camp out a bit, and maybe not camp, but what I mean is like be in the raid for a while.
Your own spot.
I always got to bring in couple beans or sardines, bring in a nice water, and then you always got to bring the nerds. You got
fruit cocktails.
Yeah, fruit cocktails are king. That's your go-to.
Yeah, they give you water and hunger, so it's best of both worlds. Same thing with peaches. Those two are probably the most. That's why they made them more rare, which thank God they did, because at one point fruit cocktails were just everywhere. But they are like the bread and butter to surviving easier, because they provide both, compared to like if you eat a candy bar, your water goes down, or if you eat the cat food, your water goes down significantly.
Yeah, but I always got to bring in a couple nerds for a round that we want to be in there for, because otherwise, if we get in one combat, even with an NPC, and some of those NPCs, man, they got some fire behind them.
So I got domed once.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Everybody.
I got I got hit in the head in the weeds outside the house. I was crouched down and everything, and I'm like, dude, I just heard a boat pink.
I have no shame in admitting it. Some of those NPCs don't play around. Everybody's died by them. So it's like, I don't want to get in one fight.
They were trained well.
And need to have to extract because I'm already almost dead. So it's like, to me, you got to bring them in if you want to be in for a bit.
And take them.
Yeah.
It takes a second to open a medicine cabinet.
There's a couple spots that they're hard in, like the house. You know, there's always one in there right when you go into the left. It's like, if you're going into the house anyway, why not grab it? You know, like you said, I love the mentality of,
because everyone wants the big loot.
But even if it's not for you to have it, make it so somebody else can't have it.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Exactly.
You know, I love that. And you can have that mentality not only for those, for any loot.
Exactly.
We've done it with weapons.
Yeah, I'll throw weapons into the ocean.
Just keep the
all the
riggers
time.
There. Yeah. Just keep the riggers there, though. But yeah, I always carry 2 nerds with me as well. 2 or 3 when I go into your raid. Well, not now because of the no-buy wipe, but but when I do, I always have 2 with me to make sure I don't die. So I do that too.
And no, that's all great advice. And I know this might be a silly question because, you know, really the sky is the limit, but at launch, you know, when the game's finally ready to go to the official store or just be called 1.0, you know, it's out of early access. How big do you see Ghosts of Tabor getting? Already in early access, it's one of the most popular, top-selling games in VR. So how big do you see this game getting?
I honestly don't know, because I've seen comments. When I was running the TikTok frequently, every day, I would see TikTok comments saying, or YouTube comments even, saying, I bought a Quest 2 for this game alone. So I see that quite often, and that is wild to me to see that happening. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know where it'll be. I obviously it's going to be bigger, but like right now there's 58, almost 59K in the Discord, and there's almost always about 2,000 players on Tabor in raid, by the way. So that number on the website is in raid. That's not in your bunker or anything. But when that number hits like 2,000, we've seen it hit 3. We've seen it hit, I think it almost hit 4. I think we might have hit 4 at one point, actually. But it's nuts to see that the game is still growing and growing, and I'm excited to see where it goes at launch, honestly. Especially with new maps and everything. People were like, oh, there's more stuff to the game. I'm going to play this game.
As if it didn't have my attention enough.
Yeah.
I would equate it to working with like the Star Wars franchise in 79, 78 and being like,
how far do you want to take it?
Well, no, just like, oh, it's going to be a good movie. You know, nobody knowing it was going to be like a historic type situation with in the movie world where, you know, VR gaming right now, you potentially are going to look back on all this and there's going to be a lot of historic moves that were made, especially with the probably, I would guess, one of the most highly anticipated launches whenever it should get announced that move is coming.
Well, I can't wait for the narrative to be correct, because right now I hear everybody say that it's Tabor that's special, but I think, in my opinion, it's Combat Waffle Studios.
I agree.
And I think that's going to show, you know, when games like
other projects,
when Grim comes out, and when Silent Night comes out, 2 other games that they've announced.
Silent North.
In the works.
Silent
North. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Sometimes my brain reads fast. I don't know. You know, you don't fully read what you're reading as fast as you talk. But yeah, Silent North and Grim. I think when these games release and they're just as popular, potentially even more popular, then I think we're going to hear people say it correctly that yes, Tabor is special, but Combat Waffle Studios is special. So I don't think there's any game in the world that Stratus over here is more hyped for than Grim VR. He's been saying since we got into VR, we need Rust in VR, which of course this is called Grim VR, not Rust VR, but
I equate it to Rust.
It looks a lot like freaking Rust in VR. Hell, even Scott said
like Rust.
Oh, you want Rust in VR? We got Rust in VR. It's called Grim. And I can't wait for it. You know, I love the mentality that Scott has that he had said it the first time we interviewed him, like a game like that, it's going to be hard, but needs to go on Quest. And that's exactly the same as Ghosts of Tabor. And that's going to be an example of why it's Combat Waffle Studios that makes bangers, not just the game itself. But do you want to tell us a little bit more about what Grim VR is? And then I'll also ask about Silent North as well. But Grim VR is the one right now that I'm biting my nails for, and I know he's fiending for. I'm surprised he hasn't hit the bone, scratching his arm about it.
So Grim, it's actually one of our senior developers' games that he's been working on for years by himself. He still technically is. At Spoonfed, and Spoonfed's mind on that game is mind blowing. It's basically Rust. It is Rust. You can't deny it. It's basically Rust VR. There is a lot more that's coming. I've switched to Grim. So the reason why I don't voice the TikToks for Ghosts of Tabor anymore is because I'm switched to Grim. I'm helping promote it and making sure it gets the following it deserves as well. So I am TikTok guy still, just shifted. But Grim, it's gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be like, not everybody likes Tabor, or not Tabor. Well, yeah, basically, not everybody likes Tabor because everybody likes Tarkov. It's basically Tarkov. No one has those kind of standards, right? Or like, oh, I'm always gonna like Tabor or Tarkov. I like this loop. Not everybody likes that loop. That's just how it is. But people like Rust. So having that in will definitely get more players in for sure. It's gonna be awesome to see how Combat Waffle Studios as a whole brings it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna.
I did talk to Spoonfed on the side. I had to bug him a little.
Yeah, we had talked about it on Rough Talk VR.
I'm so butthurt I don't have a PC VR.
Yeah, but hey, when it's on the Quest VR, if you need somebody to go try to find bugs and stuff, I don't even
play Rust on. I just watched all the videos for freaking years of people posting their Rust VR, Rust videos, and then
you just want to be heinous, is what you want to be.
I love the concept, especially if you can roll in there as a somewhat of a group and put together shit and be like, yeah, this is how it's going to be right now for the time being. I mean, I don't know what level they're going to take it. So it's like, just the concept of it has got me intrigued enough that I'm like, I'm going to be in trouble when this comes out.
Yeah.
I can already feel it.
And I said it at the start of this little spiel, and I'll say it again. It's like, it's going to be shown that it's not just Tabor. Tabor is an amazing game, arguably our favorite right now. But I think when we see the success of Grim VR, I think that game's going to take the VR scene by storm as well. And it has all the dynamics too with multiplayer, social VR. That's really what you look at all the games on the top charts. And a lot of times that's what's going on. There's some sort of social element. So I think that's going to be huge for the game. That survival mechanism, we were just talking with some people and they were saying that that's what they want to see more in VR is survival. There's a big void for it, especially multiplayer. Like that, not just co-op, but fast multiplayer.
It fills an area that doesn't exist.
Well, I think
it's just like Ghosts of Tabor owns the area that doesn't exist. They're about to do the same again. So, I mean,
yeah, something that drives me crazy is when
it's a studio that if you're not paying attention to, shame on you.
Oh, they're going to dominate.
And we give the huge amount of credit to the whole marketing as well.
Well, they're willing to take chances. I can't say this enough. A lot of developers
and do it in like a quarter of the time.
Yeah, a lot of developers, they won't do something unless it's been done before, which I understand. It's like it's risky to make games and invest in everything that needs to be done, but you try to pitch something to them or talk about something that hasn't been done yet, and it's very dismissive. Whereas Combat Waffle Studios, they go, what do we enjoy flat screen that doesn't exist yet in VR? And that's why their games are going to be so big. That's why Ghosts of Tabor is big. There wasn't a multiplayer loot survival extraction game like that yet. there wasn't Tarkov in VR for all extensive purposes, and now there is. There's not Rust in VR. There's not some vast survival game in VR. And whereas a lot of developers would go, it doesn't exist yet, so we can't do it. That's such the wrong mentality, you know.
Well, there's the followers and the setters.
Yeah, which again, I understand because it's easy for me to say they should do this, but it's money invested. But Combat Waffle Studios goes, hold my beer, and they do it. So I think Grim VR is going to be a home run. And how about Silent North? What's the deal with that? What type of game is that? And what's the deal going on there?
Silent North is DayZ VR. That's the best thing I can put it. And it's going to be different visually as well. I don't know how much I can say, but I can just say that enough to where the visuals are going to be much different than Tabor and Grim. And they already look good. They already look super phenomenal. The art team for that project is spectacular.
And is it correct in my understanding that it's going to be a little bit more, not casual of a shooter, but less hardcore than Ghosts of Tabor?
It will be taking the bones of Tabor. So, in its core, it'll have Tabor elements.
Just like the reloading, the dual palm, the mags, and the mag palming.
Oh, I don't know about the mag palming, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know why they wouldn't, but
it's so sexy, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Why would you not? I hope it's so Grim awesome.
Has it. I believe with Grim though, with Grim it'll be different because Spoon has a specific vision for Grim. He likes the Rust legacy version of Rust, not the current Rust. Although the current building is within Grim, it's meant to be more towards legacy. If anyone's ever played Legacy, then they'll know. But it's more gritty, more grungy. It's not your typical current Rust type of game, and I actually like it this way personally.
Well, it's fans of gaming making great games. That's why it's going to be good.
I'll trust that endorsement.
Yeah. It's fans of the classics. It's the fans and people that want to see it in VR, and it doesn't exist yet, so they're doing it themselves, and it's going to be good.
Combat Waffle as a whole. I mean, there's a few studios that do it, and it's the most genius thing is single-handedly put together the best team that you can for every project that's being worked on, and you're going to get the best results out of it. And
are you ready for some real funny shit? This is the way life works. Full disclosure, I've openly said this before. I love Ghosts of Tabor. It's one of my favorite games, but I was never into Tarkov flat screen. It's not like I was a Tarkov diehard that sees it now in VR and I'm going crazy. So I never had that Tarkov experience, but I love Tabor. I never really got into Rust flat screen, but I can't wait for Grim VR in VR.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And I've never played DayZ. So, but I guarantee you I'm going to like Silent North. So it's funny. I'm like the worst example of fan of those series, but I'm so confident I'm going to love each one based off of Tabor, you know?
I think the reason why, at least for me, right, the reason why I don't like Tarkov or, I like Rust, but the reason why I don't like Tarkov or DayZ as much, well, again, I still like DayZ, but anyway.
As much. Right. The wording there is essential, as much.
But I think the reasoning why is all the controls for those flat games. So you have to, your entire keyboard is basically used, and I just don't like that feeling. Especially when, like, I don't know, arthritis hits and I've like put my pinky all the way out there and I can't get it.
Or you don't play for 3 months and you go, what the fuck do I do?
Exactly. So having to do everything physically in VR makes it so much more appealing to me that's why I like them. It's because I have to do them physically and not have to fuck with all those buttons. It makes it so much better all around.
Yeah, so much more intuitive. It just makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and it feels a lot. I was playing a game the other night and I looked at not in VR, like flat screen, just on an Xbox, and literally every button on that controller had an essential purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm
spoiled these days. It's all done with my hands.
What happened to A and B?
And that's how Quest games are. You have your triggers, you have your analog stick, then you have a couple buttons on the controller.
What's incredible though is they've made it work.
because you have the advantage of being able to use your hands to physically do the action, So I think for a survival crafting game like Rust, you even see like the limited footage that's been put out of some, pickaxe, some mining, some resources. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it opens up. I don't know. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. I'm excited.
I might have to send Spoonfed a message like every other week. Any updates?
And shame on other developers.
Coming to Quest 2, huh? Coming to Quest 3 any day now? What are we doing?
It's been a wide open market, the survival aspect, I'll say, for co-op games. No
one owns it.
You look at even a game like Green Hell VR. I loved the Quest port. I had a lot of fun with it. I was never going to go into the sandbox survival mode single player. If it was multiplayer, I think I would still play Green Hell VR. So it's like it, and again, it's a genre I hear people talk about wanting. It can't be something that I'm just way ahead of the curve and I'm the only one that's heard it. Definitely, it's something everybody's heard. Like, they want survival games. Just huge props to Combat Waffle Studios that they're the first one to really bite the bullet and say, we're gonna do it.
And did it on all their terms too. It's not like
it's too hard or it can't be done isn't an excuse for the team. It seems
exactly.
And that's why great things are coming for Combat Waffle Studios, not only with Ghosts of Tabor, with Grim VR and Silent North. I think Silent North.
What else?
I think Silent North is going to be the sleeper of the three. Really? As excited as I am for Grim VR.
How dare you?
I'm so excited for Grim VR.
How fucking dare you?
I just have this feeling it's not getting as much marketing push right now, but I have this feeling.
Well, it's because it's still being built, right?
Of course, it's still much earlier.
So no marketing has been put into it yet, but I have a feeling all three will dominate.
Yeah,
I have a strong feeling all will dominate no matter what. It's like one of those things where there's always that big three, right? For some, like, I don't know, for example, big three of FPS shooters for flat screen. There's those like Call of Duty, Battlefield. Exactly, right.
Xbox,
right.
PlayStation, Nintendo.
Yeah, like it's always going to happen, and I think Combat Waffle is going to take at least a good chunk of the big three for VR until something else comes along. But that just means for survival games. These are all survival games at their core, right? Like, yeah, they have like guns and stuff like that, or fending for yourself, PvE, but that's just for the survival games. We don't know what's going to happen later on with other VR games or from other VR studios. Like, there are games that I want to see in VR, but I don't think, at least I don't think right now that Combat Waffle would do that because, well, we're known for what we're doing right now, right? So, but if we do, hey, I'm okay with it.
Hey, I have a theory that that a lot of content creators, maybe not all, I won't say that it's a default label that goes, but I would say there's content creators, man, if they start making games, I think it'll be top games, because I think that a lot of content creators have a surprising amount of insight of what makes a great game, or like you said, game ideas that we don't have yet in VR. You're going to slap me because I can't stop saying it. You're getting your Power Wash simulator, so you get to be happy. I haven't gotten what I want yet. I want Civilization in VR.
Civilization.
And I know a lot of people say it's not the best because you're not the greatest utilization of VR, but I just say, hey, you look at Catan in VR, it was great. You look at Demeo, in VR. I think that there's a market for a little bit more casual, sit down, grand strategy game. In fact, as a strategy fan, all the limitations of a grand strategy game are due to flat screen. If I could just pick up everything and do it with my hands like I can in Deism, I think it makes the game even better. So I think that in general, if people start asking content creators some game ideas, I think we might actually get some really good ones, not to over inflate our abilities or anything like that.
It's like I said though, like in the very beginning, I said, not many VR studios are looking at the flat screen counterparts and trying to replicate it into VR. Unlike Combat Waffle. There's some like Counter-Strike VR kind of games like Pavlov and stuff like that. However, that's not what I mean. Like, there's games like, think of this. There's a category for sim racing, right? People like sim racing. There's even VR sim racing. So what if right now there is no arcade-like VR game, street racing game? There's none at all.
No Need for Speed. What do we have on the Quest?
Grid Legends.
Grid Legends are
Yeah.
a beautiful one.
But there's that. There's also like, I mean, there's VR MMOs, right? But some of them, at least to me, they don't really do well. I love MMOs. I grew up playing MMOs, specifically RuneScape. So if there wasn't ever a RuneScape VR, I would. It's game over. Like, but there's so many different types of games that could be utilized in VR, like Souls-like, the sim racing, the MMO part of it. There's so many games that could be made in VR, but nobody just does it. And I don't understand. Like, we have the previous marketing of it, not really marketing, but like the predecessors.
Formula for it,
Exactly,
it works.
the formula. Yeah, it's there, but it's not being used in VR, and I don't know why. I just don't get it.
People are, and again, it's easy for me to say when I'm not the one putting down the money,
right,
and taking the chance. But what it comes down to is a lot of people feel like it doesn't work for VR or it can't be done for VR if it hasn't been done yet. And it's like, well, we never advance like that. What kind of innovative mentality is that, you know?
I'm going to say it comes down to a comparative return on investment.
Mm-hmm. People want to say for a fact that they're going to make this off of it.
Well, no, where people have an expectation when they release a flat screen game, if it's a big name studio, like this will our minimum expected return. And then they look at, like, even with the amount of headsets that are out and users, that they're like, well, we're not going to make that same return. Not looking at like the future value of at least get yourself established in the VR world, because there's going to be a point where, and I already see it happening, where these big name current flat screen studios are going to make their attempts, and they're not going to be good.
We've already seen the writing on the wall with that, with a couple of them from EA, and it's 100% true. And the sad reality is, once it's done then people come in and say, let's make
saturate it.
Let's make a Tarkov-like game.
But they're years behind the 8 ball.
That's why you got to be the one to take the chance. And sometimes you will fall flat on your face.
And
it's okay. But again, it's easy for me to say as the outsider, not
putting out your money.
But just as a consumer, I would like to see more, I guess, innovation, even though it's not innovation, because like you said, it's taking the formula that works flat screen and putting it in VR. But I'd like to see more chances like that. And that's why Combat Waffle Studios is one of my favorite studios right now. And the other week we had talked about Grim VR a little bit on Rough Talk VR, our other podcast. And I was like, wow, this game looks very far along. And so I guess it is worth mentioning, Spoonfed commented on, he goes, just to clarify, I've been working on the game for about 6 years now. Yes. So that's why it looks so far along, whereas Silent North, like you said.
But you're hell-bent on that.
Yeah, once I mess up once, you know how it goes. But Silent North, you said, there's not been the marketing done in it because it's still earlier on. And I think that's important to reference for Grim VR, that this is something Spoonfed's been working on for quite a while, almost 6 years.
Yeah, long while. He's done a phenomenal job with it. Like, there are times where just me and him in a call, and then he'll be telling me stuff, and I'm just like, man, you're insane. There are times where it is 2 a.m. Me and him are just chatting, and he's talking, like, trying to do things for his game and all that stuff. He is dedicated, and it's awesome to see that, honestly. You don't really see many of that, I don't think. People who are passionate for their games and stuff. And it's refreshing to see that someone's so passionate about their game.
Well, I love to see it have the Combat Waffle Studios name behind it now, and I think that it getting pushed to...
And so far, everybody from Combat Waffle has
the same
undeniable passion.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they're doing, there's a passion.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's going to be really cool about this podcast as we continue to go through the episodes. Episode 3, today we got you. Last episode we had Mikael. First episode we had Scott. It's like to be able to go through and one by one get to meet everybody from the team, I think is going to be really cool to hear. And I think that the one consistent that we're going to see, everybody's going to come from a very unique and cool path, but everybody's going to be extremely passionate and just love the game and love VR. So far, that's the consistent. And I think
I would bet thousands of dollars we will never hear anybody be like, man, off the record, this sucks.
Yeah, I never really use my headset. It's clearly people that are passionate, people that love it.
No, it's part of a movement. I mean, everyone that's working for that studio is in a unique position that people could spend their whole life working in game studios and not be in that position for success.
Absolutely.
So it's a little next level. It's been neat as hell to watch this unfold from the outside.
Oh, and it's only going to continue to grow.
Yeah, dude.
So, you know, where can people find you on social media and stuff like that? SoulBC?
If you want people
finding you on social media or Discord, that's actually a good caveat there.
There can be passionate peeps.
I'm on YouTube and Twitch as SoulBC, and Twitter. Actually, Twitter is SoulBC_YT. But I do content for VR once a week, all the time, no matter what it is. And I try to be funny, so I try to make you laugh. So if you like laughing, go ahead.
That's awesome. No, this has been a fun episode, and
I think comedy and laughter is perfect, by the way. So I'm going to ask, because I'm going to have to start clicking on some of the videos. Do you have your own personal persona? Do you turn it up a little notch or are you just pretty much Soul?
It's so right now, right? I'm still myself, just have more of my professional voice on right now. But I am definitely more loose. I'll say whatever I want. I don't care what it is. I say whatever I want to say. That's either dark humor, scuffed humor, anything. It also depends on the moment. I do a lot of improv stuff. I don't do skit stuff. I am very, very dark humor and oriented. I'll tell you that much.
I know who you're going to go check out after this episode.
Well, yeah, because that's right down our alley, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Half the jokes we tell each other would just
never fly on air.
Yeah. Probably get ugly. Whatever. Yeah, our humor tends to be a little abrasive, dark, quick-witted.
I'm there.
Yep, off the cup.
I'm there
fashion ball
on stream and off stream. That's me all the time.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I respect that.
So, anything else you want to ask Soul before we let him go?
I'm sure I could talk to Soul for another hour. That's not a stretch in my life. No, I'd love to talk again. I mean, obviously,
of course, this was fun. I'm down 100% to come back on.
I'm definitely going to check out some of your videos. I already know. I'm already laughing, and I haven't seen one yet because I already know. I'm like, all right, I know he's
actually just posted one as we were talking. So
even better. So, but no, I'm hopefully down the road there will be time, because it seems like everybody at Combat Waffle, you're not wearing one hat. You know, it's like sooner or later, it's almost like an exploit of talent you might not have even known you wanted, but you're gonna find yourself in multiple roles, or they know how to utilize the best from there.
Well, I want to say that at Combat Waffle, everyone is themselves. We are all open. Like, we say dark humor stuff to each other all the time too. We are like, it's like a huge family. And honestly, I am so proud to be a part of it. Like, this pin right here, this pin, I got it at the launch party, and I've never once taken it off. I am beyond proud to be part of Combat Waffle and seeing it where it is today. And I want to see it continue to grow, and I'm proud of everybody on the team. Like, it really plays some strings in my heart. It really does.
That's awesome. I love to hear it. And again, I think that's something we're going to hear.
It's only going to get better.
And shit, the way we're doing it now, we're doing an episode a month. I think it's funny. By the time we hit the whole team, I think the team's going to be even bigger. There's probably going to be 2 more games in the works, you know? So it's like, I think it's going to be very easy to make the rounds through people.
No, I'm glad we've been able to talk to the peeps we've been able to.
Yeah.
It just makes it just better and better, though.
Yeah. Like I said, get to know the team behind our favorite game. You know, that's huge. So.
Well, and also when people, I think it's easy for people to forget that the names you see on a screen or you've read about, you take away the humanity side to it. So for people to be able to actually put a voice or sometimes a face to a name, it might tone down the passion that sometimes the player base can have. And that's certainly not a knock to everyone, but there is, a small amount of people that might lose their mind over something and not shy to take it out on other folks.
It's important to remember it's real people behind
Mm-hmm.
the screen that are making this game and working on
and
it.
Obviously the team wants the game to be the best it can be. So if there's ever a hiccup or a glitch, it's like,
it's not like they're trying to destroy their game,
Yeah.
you know.
Show me a time it hasn't been addressed, and just have a little patience.
And always for the better. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you again for joining us today, Soul. You know, this was a great episode.
That was awesome.
We'd love to have you back on in the future.
But we could do a dark humor episode.
Yeah, a bonus
100%. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Let's go.
So go follow Soul on social media for some good clips. You'll find him in the Discord as well. And stay tuned for episode 4. Who knows who we'll have next?
Who could it be?
So a lot of fun to come in the future. So subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Subscribe on YouTube and the audio version. Give us that double love. Leave a rating.
Show that love in Discord for the growing community.
Yep. All that fun stuff. And we'll check you out next month with episode 4. Ciao, ciao.
Take care.